Мы приглашаем вас на новый эпизод воскресной ночной битвы. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sunday Night Fights.
Hello, fight fans. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Sunday Night Fights. I am AmiPolizeiFunk, and I am here with my co-caster and partner in crime, Yoink. How you doing, Yoink?
Good, good. It is a special edition of Sunday Night Fights, and I am excited at all of the prospects for the Sunday Night Fights action that we are going to have tonight. What are we going to see in the next couple of hours? Some snow, some bombs, some explosions, and an old friend. Tell them what we're going to see.
That's right. Our good old friend Langres from the French countryside of Normandy has been teleported to the Eastern Front and reborn as Langreskaya. We have both a winter and a summer version of the new map released by Relic in the patch for free last week. So we decided to host this tournament on it because there's no better way to put a map through the ringer than by to have a 1v1 tournament. Let these players show us the best of the best. Let them fight it out. So today we are going to see a selection of games from the semifinals. That would be the 5th round, which is a best of 3. So we've got a top bracket semifinals and a bottom bracket semifinals. And then, of course, we will show you in their entirety the final games on Langreskaya, which will be spring. So we're going to start in the winter and then move to the spring. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you know, watching people play on this map is just as fun as playing on this map. And, you know, it's been about a month since Company of Heroes 2 came out, and all of us, of course, have been playing it and having a great time. But playing this map made me feel like I was playing Company of Heroes 1. It made me sort of remember that joy. It flowed just like the old map, and it kind of made me feel very nostalgic for the game, which I loved. So I'm excited to watch a tournament on it.
Me too, man. I mean, we were desperate for competitive 1v1 maps, and bada bing, suddenly we have one. There are a couple details here that could be improved, of course, and we're giving the Relic developers lots of feedback. We're piling it in so that they can improve this map even further and iron out the little details. But man, it's ready to go. We're ready to fight on this map. You know, it's instantly been adopted into the ESL League that is starting this week, and I think we're going to see it in all future 1v1 tournaments. It's very exciting to have a new venue to play on. So, Yoink, we got lots of special stuff to give away. I mean, the winner of this tournament is going to take home a digital collector's edition. The top 8, so all the guys you see here are going to take home this commander card. And what are we going to give away to our fans?
Well, I'll tell you, Ami, a very special gift that is, like you said, going to be given away to one of our fans, not one of our players, but one of the fans in our chat tonight. Yesterday, I was having lunch with my wife here in Southern California, and I was just finishing up. She had gone up to get something from the counter, and I looked at my Facebook page and saw the Company of Heroes 2 account had posted something on Facebook that said, hey, at 2 o'clock today, Company of Heroes 2 composer Chris Velasco is in Burbank, California, signing copies of the soundtrack over at this music store. And I was like, what? Dude, that's like down the street from me right now. And I said to Amy, my wife, I'm like, dude, we gotta go. We gotta pay the bill and go over to this place called Dark Delicacies. Don't ask why it's called that. It's weird. But Chris Velasco is over there, and she's like, "Isn't that the composer of that game you like?" I'm like, "Yes!" So we ran over there, and sure enough, Chris Velasco, the guy that composed the music to this great game, was sitting there with a couple of other video game composers and TV show composers, signing copies of Company of Heroes, the soundtrack. So I bought one for myself, and I bought one for a fan, and we are going to give away at the end of today's show a signed copy of the Company of Heroes 2 soundtrack. Chris Velasco, great guy. I got a photo with me and him. I'll upload it later today. But some lucky fan of Sunday Night Fights is going to win him or herself a copy of the music of this great game.
You know, that is very kind of you, Yoink. Just think, you could have given that signed Skippy to another fan of the soundtrack in the game, your co-caster, but instead, you put our viewers ahead of your own personal friends. That's very noble, Yoink, very noble. I love you for that. I love that about you so much that I could maybe squeeze you in the... Yes, very noble.
I feel an emotion. I think that you're trying to convey an emotion to me, but I'm not good with that. So I'm having trouble understanding exactly what you're trying to communicate. Anyway, I'm sure it's just love. It's just love.
I'm actually trying to say I'd like to choke you right now, but I think it's very great that you put our fans in front of, you know, your own personal friend who took you to a Dodger game. But all right, that's cool. That's cool, man. Their game. It's cool. It's cool. So not only that, so we're also giving away 5 of these mechanized support. Let's see, no, they're called the Mechanized Support Tactics Soviet Commanders. We're giving away 5 keys there too. So we'll be giving away stuff all the time. We'll do the first one right after this first game. But I think, you know, without further ado, we should get into this game, right? We can't talk too much or the fans start getting restless.
Yeah, they didn't come here to listen to us. They came here to see some awesome games on Langreskaya, which I'm already loaded up at 5 seconds.
Excellent. So my entity has taken us into the game. We're going to see right here Game 1 of OMGPOP versus AndyisRIPPIN from the top bracket. Now, OMGPOP got here by defeating Titty Twister in a 2-to-1 battle that I actually casted yesterday on my stream, or actually I casted it on SNF, and the first game of that one I would highly recommend. Tons of action, 6 scout cars, 2-pack 43s, hella great game. OMGPOP versus Titty Twister. So Pop won that in 3 games, and now he's going to go up against AndyisRIPPIN, who defeated the incredible Fahu, who is a German player who was streaming those games. So here we go. Who do you want to follow?
Well, you know what? I am started up on OMGPOP, so I will follow him.
All right, I'll be following AndyisRIPPIN. We figured out some way to count in, didn't we? But I've forgotten it already. And it probably won't work when we're not in person. You being in LA, me being in Berlin, there being vent lag.
Right, we should just do it the old-fashioned way.
Would you like to do the honors?
Why, thank you, Ami. I think I will. If our cameraman and director NTD is ready at 5 seconds, we will get this game started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. And the clock is ticking at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And from Oh My God Pop, he is building the infantry company right off the bat, as every German player does.
Yes, and AndyisRIPPIN is bringing in conscripts. We'll see how many and how long before he perhaps upgrades to flame nades or AT nades or perhaps some medics in his base. Oh, Langreskaya.
I know, I was just going to say, since we are in that beginning moments of the game where people just kind of like stare at the screen and wait for something fun to happen, let's talk a little bit about how Langreskaya is different from Langres.
Well, I can tell you one of the major differences is right in the center. That long hedgerow to the left of the PP now has a little gap right in the middle, and that is a pretty big change.
It is. I mean, that allows access to that victory point. You know, so many players use that hedgerow if you're starting in the south as sort of a almost like a base of operations with which to launch attacks into the center, and it's not going to be as effective this time because there's flow now through that hedgerow.
Yes, hopefully it'll be a little bit more balanced with that gap there. Another change, of course, is the houses are a bit different. You get these, you know, these sort of weak Russian wooden houses that go down to maybe 2 or 3 pack shots. Formerly, we had a nice, strong stone 2-story house. You see where these the MG is garrisoned? That used to be a very difficult house. very strong. But now it's a lot easier to take that whole house down.
Yeah, I mean that's just a component of Company of Heroes 2. You know, large stone houses just really don't exist that much in this game. I mean, they were in the campaign, but they're just not in any of the multiplayer maps. And didn't Peter tell us about that when we were up in Vancouver? He was talking about how houses he had redesigned a lot of the maps to incorporate this sort of like Russian rural village aspect of playing them.
And I mean, in Langreskaya winter, obviously we have all the new effects of cold tech. You can see the MG right now, they're moving through heavy snow, so they're lifting their knees really high and they're moving incredibly slow. And there's a lot of heavy snow all around this particular portion of the map, and it's very central. You know, the access from the left base to that ammo, the direct access is through all that heavy snow. Now, at the beginning of the game, it's pristine, and you see all of the footprints, but as the game progresses, as artillery lands, as tanks drive over it, as flamers torch the earth, that snow will actually melt and flatten, and then infantry will run over it quickly as they did before. So although I don't like the fact that the heavy snow slows down the game, and a lot of players are complaining that there's too much heavy snow on Langra, I like the fact that it adds more of a changeable environment to the map. So the map, you know, that's one of my favorite things about co-maps is how they progressed throughout the competition. You know, as the fight gets more intense, stuff gets destroyed, and it actually changes the venue that you're playing on. I love that about COH.
Well, of course, I mean, Destructible Terrains back in 2006 when Company of Heroes 1 came out was just eye-poppingly awesome for an RTS, you know? Now, I mean, Destructible Terrain seems to be something that all RTSs incorporated, but moldable, destructible terrains, and now just by walking through snow, you can, you know, alter the terrain is just it's a great amount of fun to watch and play with.
All right, well, the first interesting skirmish is occurring now. AndyisRIPPIN has come around the top, and he's stepping into this point. Since he controls the central VP, he has now successfully cut OMGPOP off the entire right-hand side. He's no longer getting that fueler ammo or the recesses from those 3 strat points. And AndyisRIPPIN has teched flame nades, so this could be a big attack here. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Well, some things on Langra's never changed. That victory point, I mean, that strategy point obviously is very important. And here we go. Large Russian forces moving along the right side of that point to try and flank that MG42. Looks like they may actually achieve their goal. Oh my God, Pop has to move that MG42 all the way back deeper into, you know, German territory here to defend against this conscript push.
Yes, the one conscript in the center by the ammo got suppressed by the MG in the house. You know, OMGPOP has 2 MGs, so he was able to easily backpedal into the cover of his other MG, but he is once again cut off, so he's been cut off for quite a long time now.
In his base, you know what, he was building something. Oh, you know what, he went and engaged. Oh, he canceled whatever he was building. I thought he was building something. He canceled it. But he's floating a lot of manpower right now. But here comes that MG42 to come right up into the face of those conscripts trying to charge bravely for Comrade Stalin right into the MG42. They throw the petrol bomb, and that MG42 is burning.
2 petrol bombs. Look at them cook. 2 guys are just doing the like Hollywood. Oh, another Molotov into the other MG who is able to backpedal away. And that's the thing, you know, with these 4-man MG squads. He just had direct hits with 3 Molotovs, and both MGs were able to backpedal away and survive the engagement and stay in the fight.
You know what, I'm really loving from AndyisRIPPIN his ability to keep his conscripts in the fight, like you were talking about. I mean, he has been able to just create this, like, conscript bubble around these MG42s and just keep pushing them constantly. And, boy, oh my God, Pop is just, like, up against the wall here.
And he continues to be cut off, so if whatever plans he might have had from the Tier 2 that he put up, like getting out a scout car or a half-track, have been delayed.
Oh my God, Pop is building another, let's make it a 3rd MG42 in his base. You know, he's been able to stop the conscripts from pushing further into German territory, but like you said, he's cut off. So this is not going to be an effective way to keep fighting this battle. You know, sure, the conscripts aren't progressing forward, but neither is he. He needs to solve this problem.
Now I'm curious, I wonder why he decided to call Grens in instead of Panzergrens. We know that Panzergrens are a lot better in close engagements against other infantry with their little submachine guns, but he elected to call in just normal Grens. maybe is that perhaps because they're a little cheaper and he wants to save his manpower for the vehicle when he gets a shot at it?
I mean, he has no fuel for vehicles. Oh, actually, what he did is he just bought the 251, the half-track. It's coming out of the base right now.
Okay. Now, does he have the ammo to upgrade it to flames? He needs 120 munitions to turn it into a Flammenwerfer.
He
really?
got
Okay.
the munitions, yeah, but he has not done it yet.
All right. Well, KO2 often hangs. You know, the middle game, how the performance of the Flammenwerfer half track. You know, what often the winner of the game will hang on the performance of that unit. If it can get flames and torch a couple of conscript squads and really like hurt the manpower and survive, the Wehrmacht player can take a large lead. But on the other hand, if the Russian player can get us, you know, some kind of flank in where he hits it with 3 AT nades at once and actually kill it, and deprive the Wehrmacht player of those 120 munitions that he just spent, then, you know, that's almost GG for the Russians. So let's see how OMGPOP is able to use this all-important middle game unit.
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, this is the first true, maybe it's the second turning point of the game. I'd say the first turning point was that amazing cutoff that AndyisRIPPIN had performed, and now, as you said, we mature this game into the middle phase. This half-track really is going to need to do a lot of work for OMGPOP. It's going to be the workhorse of the German Wehrmacht right now, the Osttier, I should say, as he tries desperately to take back territory. I mean, he's really low on fuel and munitions right now.
An MG annihilated, hit the dirt conscripts. They're not able to capture it, though, because the Flammenwerfer half-track comes over to protect it. Let's see who is able to get that MG. Now we've got OMGPOP moving for a cutoff. How quickly things change. But then you have AndyisRIPPIN also capping the strap point in front of the base. But OMGPOP is going to remain connected to his ammo through the VP, but not to his fuel.
OMGPOP went with Festung armor doctrine, so he can always pop that smoke on that half-track should he need it. With the recently changed balance patch, it's just 1 CP to get that smoke. Very important.
Oh, I would love to see that. It's a very beautiful graphic that the Osttier vehicles can execute and get out of trouble if they're in danger. I have to give a shout out to our observer NTD. With a game like this, with action happening all over the place, kind of reminds me of some vanilla flavor here, with everything flashing at once. It's to do proper observing, and I have to say, I tried to cast some games by myself yesterday with casting and obsing at the same time, and it is so difficult. So big ups to NTD, big respect for the job that he does here on Sunday Night Fights.
Oh man, right in the center there. Concert's getting roasted. They were trying to take that VP, hold that VP, I should say, and man, they just got cooked.
Did you know that AndyisRIPPIN built 5 conscript squads? Of course, one just got annihilated, so he's down to 4. But that's a heavy conscript build. He's done the doctrine that starts with hit the dirt, then goes guards, then PPSH, which he just now unlocked. Then there's a howitzer, and at the end, finally, you have the Sturmovik attacks.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of that one, but 5 conscripts is a lot. And you know, one of the things that I wanted to discuss with maybe some of our fans don't realize is why the 251 is so powerful with the flames is because Peter explained this to us, one of the balance devs that's on co2.org that regularly posts, that flames are not affected by retreating units. I should say that retreating units don't get a bonus of the defensive bonus versus flames. So you can really annihilate retreating squads with flamethrowers of any kind.
Yes, you can. We might see it right now. Watch this MG try to retreat. Let's see if OMGPOP follows him. He ought to. He ought to just follow him a bit. Oh, his unit got hung up on the hedgerow, wasn't able to turn around. If he had just reversed straight back, he might have been able to kill that MG because of exactly what you're talking about. But as it stands, AndyisRIPPIN's engineers were able to commit larceny and steal the MG, bring it back home. Now the T-70's on the field, and he's going to try to give some chase to this Flammenwerfer.
Oh, this little gremlin is great. It's great for taking out 251 half-tracks. It's really great versus infantry as well. It can shoot down grenadiers, no problem. It's like a little Puma from Company of Heroes 1 almost.
Yeah, this is a very strong unit. It is able to insta-gib infantry with single shots. It even can crush things if it gets in close. Look at OMGPOP. His army is in almost full retreat as he scrambles for some kind of counter.
Now, the one thing about the T-70 is that it has absolutely no power versus any sort of German anti-tank vehicles or even anti-tank guns. It'll go down very quickly. So OMGPOP now realizes that he needs to bring some serious sort of anti-vehicle action on the field. He could do it with Shreks. He has upgraded one of his Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks, so that might be able to do it. But this T-70 could just scoot right out of the way from any sort of Shrek action.
I'm enjoying how how the flow of this game has gone back and forth. You know, it's like Flammenwerfer comes out, suddenly OMGPOP surges forward, takes a lot of map, and then the T-70 comes out, and suddenly AndyisRIPPIN surges back and retakes the map. It's had great flow so far.
I don't know. Also, I feel like these guys have units everywhere at all times. I mean, I haven't really seen any clustered groups of units any more than once or twice in this game. They're just everywhere, especially AndyisRIPPIN. I mean, he is really using the Soviet power of conscripts everywhere at once, and I love it.
This is interesting. AndyisRIPPIN started building a field gun, but then elected to cancel it, and he's now starting another T-70.
Oh, 2 T-70.
Might be a good choice. I mean, the 2 T-70s are going to be a hell of a lot better against these upgraded Panzer Grenadiers than a Zis would have been. You know, the Zis is such an iffy gun. It's so expensive, and frequently it just won't do a lot of damage. I think it's a unit that needs to be looked at personally. And it's very easy to kill with anti-infantry. I mean, one of the best things about it is actually its barrage ability, which is kind of crazy. I mean, what kind of AT gun also acts as artillery?
Yeah, I agree. You know, OMGPOP now has his PaK-40 moving deep into the center part of Langreskaya. It's going to be good for sort of fending off the T-70, but I don't know if he's going to be able to finish a T-70 off with that gun unless AndyisRIPPIN drives it into a really bad play.
Yeah, the PaK has similar problems. It's also kind of weak, doesn't have enough penetration, doesn't do enough damage to units. But we should have a good mid-game. They've both got very diverse armies now. AndyisRIPPIN has upgraded all of his conscripts, the four conscripts that remain with the PPSH upgrade, so they should be excellent anti-infantry units now. They're able to run in there and hit the dirt and tear up other infantry at close range. He's got the stolen MG. He's got the Zis anti-tank gun. He's got these 2 T-70s that are darting around the map. This might be a period where these two players just kind of don't really want to rush in and attack each other because each of their armies is so strong at the moment.
I think they know it too. I mean, they can sense it. These are good players, and they understand that while we've lost a couple of conscripts, it's okay to lose a couple of conscript squads for the Soviets. Oh, there is a Zis firing somewhere. I see it.
Yeah, he's doing the artillery. He's trying to target the half-track position. That half-track just got double vet, which makes it even more survivable than it was. I mean, it's really hard unit to kill now.
And also, I mean, he can use infantry awareness off that half-track. That's the veteran C1 ability. So this is going to be useful because AndyisRIPPIN has a ton of infantry.
I like how OMGPOP has garrisoned this house. He wants to try to maybe think about some kinds of cutoff moves, but uh-oh, this is dangerous. He got out of that house on the wrong side. Now, there is a problem right now with the map where units can get stuck on that bush, and I think that MG right now is stuck. See, he's retreating, and he's not moving.
Can't even
look
retreat.
At
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
And he can't get back in.
If anything, he could spin the camera around. Well, yeah, well, that's been stolen. I don't know if he could get back in even if the conscripts weren't there. This is a known problem with the map. And don't worry, we made Relic aware of it as soon as we found it. The first day that we got access to the map, that was one of our first bits of feedback, is that door. So, Peter, Piero, if you guys are listening, that's really important, that one.
Just saw a bundle grenade go off of some conscripts that had hit the dirt. Usually that's like death for them, but they were able to survive.
This barrage might clear the PaK.
That may not.
The PaK is down to 2 men. That barrage, there it goes. The PaK has been cleared, and that gives the T-70s room to work, and they're right up in there. One is chasing the Flammenwerfer back to his base. He's got him down to a 40% health. Let's see if he can finish him off. The blizzard is in effect. Line of sight is very shallow. He's going all the way to the base. He's got
Oh, this is
Panzer
a turning
Grenadiers
point.
there, but they
Oh,
can't
no.
do a foul. Here come the guys with Shreks. It's going to be really close. One Shrek shot. Oh, main got destroyed. Here comes the second T-70, and he is able to get the kill. These two Shrek'd up Grens are not able to stop it. Three T-70s up in your base, killing your mans.
Oh, this is brutal. This is. Oh. There's like three little gremlins running around just eating people. And that's the end of that.
Shrek, and OMGPOP is frustrated. He's very frustrated, even though this is a best-of-3 series and every victory point matters. He's been cleaned out. He's got nothing left, and he throws in the towel.
Wow. 3 T-70s. That'll do it to you, right in your base. Like I said, they just eat up infantry. They're kind of like the Pumas, except for the Russians in Company of Heroes 2.
This first T-70 had 16 kills and got double vet, and yeah, man, Shrek dropped, you know, army annihilated. I mean, look at that. OMGPOP's got nothing left.
Yeah, and I'd like to say that I don't think that the house bug had anything to do with it. He just got owned in his base. You know, I don't think if that MG42 had gone back into the house. It didn't help, but I don't think it was, can't blame it on that.
His biggest mistake was letting the pack get killed by that barrage. I mean, this is an example of a replay where the field gun of the Russians was actually, you know, instrumental in the win, which you don't often see. So that's kind of cool. All right, if NTD would take us out of the game, then back to the splash screen, I think we should give away one of our keys here. So, Yoink, why don't you tell our viewers, as you've told them many times before, how they are able to win some of our great prizes that we're giving away tonight?
Well, it's really easy, Ami. I'm glad you asked. We here at Sunday Night Fights have a Twitch TV channel that you're watching this show on today, and we want you to follow us, where we can send you alerts and updates about important Sunday Night Fights action and things like that. And the way that you do it is with Twitch TV. You look on the screen wherever the new, I don't even know where it is on the new. Where's the button on the new format?
Big purple button. It says follow. Top right, bottom left. One of those places.
One of those places. Click on the button that says follow, and you're automatically entered into our prize drawing to win one of these great commanders, and also for the soundtrack at the end of the game. So as long as you're following us, you don't have to do anything else. We will already draw your name out of the hat, or you'll be entered to draw your name out of the hat, which are
spit it out, Yoink. I know
Commander
it's
of the Monkeys, General Hell, is going to be doing.
We have some other really cool stuff to talk about, you and I. I can't wait. But before we get to that, all right, so the monkeys are working. They're jumping around in their cages, and they're eating little ping pong balls with numbers on them. So if you follow us, you've been entered, and we're doing a roll right now. General Hell is doing the roll. I'm talking to him in Steam. If he will give me a name, please, we can announce the first winner of a Soviet Commander Mechanized Support Tactics key.
Can I do the drum roll, and then you announce the name?
Go for it.
Let me know when you're ready for... All right, ready? The drum roll is... And the name is...
Darkblaze45. Darkblaze45, say hey in chat, but more importantly, send a Twitch DM. That's a direct message to General Hell, confirming that you are indeed present and you would like to retain your key. He will reply with a Twitch DM, and you'll have the key, and you can go put it into Steam and unlock the commander right at this very moment. Are you here, Darkblaze45? There he... Oh, nope. Okay. Oh, well, he's saying... Dude, General Hell, you want him to PM the Sunday Night Fights channel? Yeah, oh, yes, exactly. Okay, GH is logged in as SNF right now. So, GH, tell me, who should they PM? Should they DM, sorry. Should they DM you as General Hell, or should they DM Sunday Night Fights? Talk to me, GH. Talk to me. I don't see Darkblaze saying anything, but he's got basically the whole show to reply, because we'll be giving out a bunch more. But then at the end, if they're not claimed, we'll give them to somebody else. All right, so the system has changed. Now you should send a DM to Sunday Night Fights. So he just said something there. It's that little green icon, little broadcaster icon. Send a DM to him saying, "Hi, I won. Give me my key," and he will DM you back with your key. All right.
that's that. Other thing, guys, we got to break 3,000 followers today. We have to stay in front of Helping Hands. We don't want Helping Hands to have more followers than Sunday Night Fights, do we? No, we don't. All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break, 3-minute break. We'll be right back with Game 2 from this series and a very special guest. Stick with us.